Also today I am so excited to show you my new tutorial. It is still a summer makeup tutorial, but it's more glam. So I did another tutorial for summer, but it was very simple, just really easy, takes you 15 minutes. This is more of a full glam look, so if you have a special occasion or a night out, this would be a perfect makeup tutorial for summer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos, I think every Tuesday. That's a good day for me. So I think I'm going to start posting more videos every Tuesday, so make sure you are subscribed so that you are kept up to date. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I'm starting off with 3 different primers. I know it's a little bit high maintenance, but I'll explain why. So the first one is from Laura Mercier. This is a great primer because I am very dry skinned, and I'm concentrating that on the areas of my face that get really dry, so my cheeks and my forehead, very dry. Next, I'm going in with the Hourglass primer, and I've had this mineral veil primer for forever. So I'm concentrating this on the inner portions of my face, so basically my T-zone where I get red or oily. This primer acts almost as a protective layer and will help prevent that oil from coming through to the surface of your skin and breaking apart your makeup. So what I'm doing first is just really buffing this into my skin, and then I will take a setting spray. This is my favorite pro tip, is take a setting spray to set that primer, because it will make that primer last even longer. So your makeup will look flawless all evening long without it looking like it's breaking apart. The last primer I will be using is this liquid highlight from Becca. This is really great. I like to kind of layer my highlights as I go. So I start off with the liquid one before I put on any of my foundation. And this will act as a really nice kind of glowy base, if you will. So it'll kind of add some more depth to my foundation when I put it over. The best part about this is when you blend it out with the beauty blender or put foundation on top of it, it makes it so it's not as intense and just gives a really, really nice natural highlight. You guys might have already seen my review on this new Clarisonic foundation brush. Basically, this is almost the exact same footage from that. So if you've seen that, you're going to see it repeat. I'm sorry. But basically, I'm just showing you how it works. It's very similar to the original Clarisonic. And I'm taking my MAC Studio Fix? I think it's my Studio Fix foundation. I'll link all my products down below, but it's my foundation I use when I'm really tan, aka I used a lot of fake tanner, and this is the foundation that matches that. And I'm going to start buffing this into my skin using the new Clarisonic foundation brush. Honestly, I love it. If you haven't seen my review, check it out. It just does such an amazing job of blending in my foundation. You can't see any streaks. It looks so natural, and it takes a foundation like this that's super hefty, full coverage, and blends it out like a dream. So I love it, and you'll see me using it here. Moving on, we are going to be doing some cream contour. Honestly, I feel like I have not used these cream contour sticks in a long time, but I remembered why I got them in the first place. They are so nice, and what I love about a good contour shade is that it's a cool tone, so that way it matches the shadows on your face. Honestly, I'm really using this cream contour stick to put this new foundation brush to the test, because these contour sticks are extremely hard to blend out. They blend out, I mean, when they're finally blended out, it looks great, but they're really hard to blend out. And I was so impressed by how well and how easily this foundation brush blended them out. It did have a little bit of a hard time at first, but then you can really see it did a flawless job. You can't even see where I drew on the contour in the first place. I'm also going on with my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel bronzer, just again to test that foundation brush. I don't really need it when I'm this tan, to be honest, but again, I just wanted to show you how the foundation brush works and how you can either dip it into the product, or you can, apply a product first on your face and then use the brush. So I'm just trying to show the versatility of the brush here. I'm just doing things in any sort of order today, so next I'm going on with my brows. I will brush my brows first through to make sure all the hairs are evenly placed, and then after that I will go through with my Brow Wiz and just fill in any spots that are a little bit bare. So notice I'm really concentrating this in the back section of my brows. Typically your brows are thicker in the front and more sparse in the back. That's why I'm really concentrating this product in the back. I will also use it to kind of underline my brows or kind of make them look a little bit thicker at the base. After I'm done using the Brow Wiz, I will go on with the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I absolutely love this product. It lasts a really long time, and I really concentrate this on the back part of my brows where they're sparse. It has fibers in it, so it really makes that area thicker. I still want to give my brows a little bit more definition, so here I am taking the Thrive Brow Highlighter and going right underneath my brows just to give them a little bit more of a pop. Before I start on my eyeshadow, I'm taking this primer from NARS just to prime my eyelids. I actually really like this primer because it's a little bit creamier. Again, my eyelids are dry too because I have dry skin, and so I like primers that are a little bit more hydrating because I feel like it makes the colors blend easier. I'm using my favorite Tartelette palette today that unfortunately is broken, so I guess I'll have 7 years bad luck with makeup. I guess that's how it works. I'm taking the shade Flower Child to start on a big fluffy brush. This will be acting as my base shadow before I put my transition colors on top of it. Next, I'm using the shade Sweetheart, and on a thinner brush, I'm using that, really packing that in on the crease. So I'm using this to kind of build up the colors in my crease. I do have slightly hooded eyes, so this tutorial would be a little bit more geared towards people with hooded eyes. I am concentrating that color mainly in my crease area. Then I'm taking the shade Rebel on a smaller brush, and I'm really packing that in on the crease. For me, I have hooded eyes, so sometimes my eye crease gets lost, so that's why I'm really building a lot of these colors, these darker colors, in my outer crease to really make it dramatic and pop. I feel like it makes my eyes look a lot bigger that way. I'll also be going back in with a fluffy, clean brush just to help blend this out. That is like one of the biggest tips I could give you guys, is keep a brush handy that is clean to help blend things out. Using the shade Jet Setter and on a small brush again, I'm really concentrating that to kind of build the color. I feel like makeup looks like so much more blended when you use multiple colors and you really blend them together. So that's what I'm doing here. Once that color is down, I will again be going back with a clean brush just to blend that out and blend those colors together. To darken this up a little bit, I'm taking the shade Activist, and again on a smaller crease shader brush, and really focusing that color on the outer crease. Again, you can see here now my eye is really starting to pop and look a lot bigger than it did before because I'm adding some definition. And once again, I am going back through with a clean, fluffy brush just to blend that out. I feel like sometimes when you have a brush that's a little bit dirty, the colors start to look a little bit muddy, but when you have a clean brush, it blends it out so much easier. Going back in with a little bit of the shade Rebel, I'm going to use that to kind of bring some color back. Right now it's looking a little bit kind of cool toned. I wanted to add some warmth into that crease. That's why I'm going back in with the shade Rebel. Now for some shimmer, I'm using the shade Founding Girl. I'm really concentrating the shimmer on the middle of my eye because that's where I want it to be the most intense. Then when there's less product on the brush, I'm going towards the inner corner and the outer corner of my eye just to help it give it that fade effect, if that makes sense. So it's not a super all of a sudden the whole eye is covered in glitter look. It is more of a fade in and out from the middle section of my eye. I switched eyes here for a second, but I just wanted to show you guys how I'm going back in again with one of the shades, I believe it's a Rebel, and just packing that on lightly on top of some of the glitter to help make it look like it's more faded and fading into that crease color. Then I'm going to line my eyes with a Thrive Cosmetics eyeliner in the shade Lauren. It's their black shade. I love this eyeliner because it's so creamy. I feel like it glides on really easily. And after this, you will see me blend it out, and I feel like it blends out really well. This is like one of my favorite techniques to use. I go on with a creamy eyeliner first, and then I will use a thin brush to blend it out to make it look really, really smooth. Afterwards, I will highlight my waterline in the inner corners of my eye, again with that exact same brow highlighter pen from Thrive Cosmetics. Doing my routine super backwards today, but I am finally going in with my concealer. I'm just doing a few dots under my eyes and a little bit on my nose, going in very light-handed with this and blending it out with a beauty blender. I recently saw a tip or trick from Laura Lee, she's a YouTuber as well, where she just lets her foundation really sit into her skin for a while before she goes on with powder like I am here. And I feel like it really worked for me. I felt like my skin looked a lot more natural. It didn't look as like cakey or wrinkly or dry, and I just felt like it blended everything a lot better. So if you have dry skin too, maybe try that. And another tip I have for you guys is to spray a primer water or Fix Plus like I am right now on my face. I feel like it just really helps the liquid foundation and the powder just fuse together so it looks a lot more natural. It just helps it set in a little bit better. Then I'm going in with my highlighter from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Sin, and I'm taking that on a beauty blender. This was like a new experiment for me. I usually use brushes, but I don't like how powdery it looks. When I use a beauty blender, I feel like it helps, again, really push it into my skin, and it looks a lot more natural this way. So I think I'll definitely start doing this more with my highlighters, just because I feel like it looks a lot more natural and not like super in your face highlight, if you know what I mean. Taking my blush from NYX that's a lot more pigmented than I realized, but I'm going to very lightly and light-handedly apply that to my cheeks. So because the blush was pretty pigmented, I'm going to lightly pat that on just so I don't go overboard. Recently, I've been very into bronzing my face as opposed to contouring it, so I'm placing that in the same section that I would naturally want to contour my face, but I'm using a little bit fluffier of a brush to make it look really natural and blended and seamless, so it's not really a harsh contour, it's more of like a natural contour and bronzer that's great for summertime. I'm also going to lightly place that on my nose and my jawline, again to give my face a more definition, but not anything too crazy like a contour would. I'm taking this lip color called, I think it's Birthday Suit. I'm gonna link it down below. It was my birthday reward from Sephora, and I absolutely love it. I feel like it matches my natural lip color like so well, and it's probably become my newest favorite liquid lipstick just because it does look really natural, it doesn't look super drying, it just sits really well on your lips. Now that my under eye is set, I'm going back in with that same brush that I used to blend out my eyeliner, just to kind of add some more depth and definition underneath my eye. I'll also go in with a pencil brush and some more of the Rebel shade that I used from the palette, just to kind of blend a little bit better. Taking these lashes from House of Lashes and my lash glue from Thrive Cosmetics, I'm going to apply my lashes. So I'm first painting the lash glue onto my lashes directly. And then once they're a little bit drier, I'm going to make sure that I usually give them about 30 seconds to dry a little bit. You want them to be super dry because they won't stick at all, but then you also don't want it to directly put it on your eye after you put the glue down, because then it won't stick either because it'll be not tacky enough. So I'm letting it dry a little bit out first, and I'm using some tweezers just to place that right up against my lash line. I'll use my fingers to pinch my lashes into my false lashes to help them glue or adhere better. I just feel like it always sticks better whenever I kind of pinch my natural lashes together with false lashes. And then I'm using the other end of the eyeliner that I use from Thrive Cosmetics to really push my lashes up against my eyelid so that it will stick longer. You guys, we are so close to being done with this makeup look, so all I'm doing now is just putting some mascara to my bottom lashes to complete the eye look. Set your face with some setting spray and you are good to go. Also to note that I do wait a long time for my setting spray to settle before I open my eyes, because I do have hooded eyes and I don't want that glitter to transfer to the tops of my lid. And just like that, this makeup look is finished. And this is the finished makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I recently did this makeup a couple days ago and I didn't film it, and I was kicking myself for not filming it, so I decided, what the heck, I'm just gonna do it all over again and film it. And for some reason, whenever I do my makeup on camera, it takes me forever to do, but I really take my time to do it. So I feel like my makeup always looks like pretty on point whenever I film, because it just takes me so long to do it. And these eyes weren't as dark as they were the last time I did it. Like, this is definitely darker than it was the last time, but I kind of like how it turned out. I really like the contrast. I think it's really fun and kind of flirty, but I thought it was a really fun look for summer. I will see you guys in my next video.